founders who are building in AI. AI, as we all know, is changing rapidly. There's a lot of new sort of technologies that are emerging, a lot of new ways to think about product. So how do founders learn about these changes? The only way you can, I think, learn, or maybe the best way to learn at a conference like this, at a summit like this, is by listening to each other. So it's not a pitch. There's not going to be any talk about business. There's going to be no funding conversation. It's only about product. So I'm going to request all the founders who are presenting to come up, and then we'll go sequentially. And the other request on the presentations to all the founders who are presenting is, please come. I mean, feel free to come up. Is that please use jargon, because that's the intent, is that the audience will understand it. However, also be mindful that if you want more people to learn who may not be AI natives, may not be technologists, but it's still important for them to learn and understand. So if you can simplify it, it's fine. If you don't want to simplify it, it's also okay. So the format we'll follow is that each one of you, takes a little bit of time to talk about your product. But like I said again, only product, no business, no pitching, no money, nothing. Yeah? So I'm going to request to start with, if I could request Ravindra Kumar to talk about what is it that you're building. So quick introduction, and then the product that you've built.
Hi everyone, this is Ravinder from Tecnod8 AI, and we are aiming to automate automation itself. So everybody says AI won't take away any jobs. We are like, let us do something about it.
Do you want to stand there at the podium, or you're okay
you want
sitting?
Me to start the
whatever. No. Yeah, you can start your presentation.
Shall we do that?
Yeah, we should, because I want people to really get into the product.
Can I use the
clicker,
please? Yes.
Yeah.
Can we have the presentation, please? Okay. Yes. So this is us. As I said, what we are aiming to do is to automate automation itself. I have been working in the robotics and automation industries for last about 15 years, targeting everyone from auto manufacturers to automation manufacturers and everyone in between. So what generally happens is that there are already very sophisticated automation equipment available out there in the market. Before starting Tecnod8 AI, I have been working with this company, which happens to be world's largest manufacturer of industrial robots. Way back in the year 2010 or so, they achieved 100% automation, which means no human on the shop floor. Still, the manufacturing is happening at 100% capacity. On the other side, if you see globally, including India, manufacturing is not even sustainable. People are not able to use automation to the fullest extent. That is something which Tecnod8 is aiming to solve. We want to make automation as easy as DIY using agentic AI. So what it does is basically help you in 3 ways. First, to conceptualize an engineering, robotics and automation engineering solution on your own. Then to deploy and commission that, including robot programming, etc., etc. And then eventually, it also helps you to troubleshoot when something doesn't work. For this, we started as, okay, we have to do something like this, because the idea of this discussion is how do we go from experimentation to real world deployment. So when I came up with this idea, the first thought was that you need to build a foundational model, but we are in India. It's not that easy to raise money to build a foundational model. But then how do you approach this? The idea is, okay, let us go talk to customer, let us experiment with what all options are available out there, and then figure out in the process, do we need a foundational model? So we started talking to customers, started doing some initial deployments. Today we stand again back where we started from, that we need a foundational model for this. But in the process, we have already started deploying application, including with people like Fortune 500 companies. This is how the team comes from. We are working with some people at, I'm sorry, Archana, but being a founder, some pitching comes in by default. But then, yeah, this is how the team looks like. We are collaborating with people like Dr. Sumit Chopra, PhD under the godfather of AI, Yan LeCun. He worked at FAIR earlier. We are exploring, or we are rather going to deploy a use case very soon with Indian Air Force itself. Of course, the team comes from IITs. I have a small demo to show to everyone. There's some music to this, but it's just music. There's no audio in any case. So what it does is, as I said, 3 modules. It helps you to conceptualize a robotics and automation solution. It helps you to build that. The agentic AI, what it does is it mimics automation expert. It really finds what it takes to deploy that solution in a real world scenario. It gives you the complete architectures. It gives you the programs. It gives you the step-by-step procedures. How do you put these systems together? And then eventually in the final, I mean, of course, you can also ask it to make changes. Well, what happens is in industrial scenario, you change one equipment, it has to talk to all other equipment, so everything changes. So it does all that on its own, autonomously, by using agents in the background. You can also see how that solution will look like on your factory, which has been conceptualized by the agents. And then when it comes to robot programming, many people ask me that ChatGPT can't do this. Why do you want to build a foundational model for this? Now, when it comes to robotics, necessarily we are interacting with the real world. You have to understand what is the object, what needs to be done, how the robot needs to move. All that data needs to be injected into the systems. Only then robotic programming can be done. Anyways, then there is something called CNC programming. CNCs are the mother machine. So every aerospace component, every automotive engine, be it 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler, they're all machined on CNC machines. For that matter, to build other machines, you need CNC machines. So all those programs can also be generated by using agentic or generative AI in this case. In defense use case, it's like, for example, this is a case of aero engine where you just say the error code, the 3D model explodes, and the generative AI tells you where and what steps to take to solve that particular problem. For example, you will be able to see, you said the error code, it shows you where in the whole machine that error belongs, and these are the steps you need to take to solve these problems. So yes, this is it from me. We are exhibiting at Hall 14. See you all there who want to discuss more.
So anybody has questions on the product, including founders sitting on this panel can ask questions on the product. Any questions? Yes, please.
I had one question. I had one question that was basically, so I'm sure you'll be using certain foundational models at the back of this. So if GPT OSS, if any GPT models eventually crosses that intelligence, how are you going to cope with that?
We'll use their model. See, I am not fond of building foundational model. My aim is to solve the problem of my customer.
So because we have seen through the time that the coding models, initially we used to build wrappers over code. But now the initial models itself have become so good that you don't need these wrappers anymore. So how are you going to beat that?
Absolutely. So one thing that this will never be in a human history. These kind of tasks will never be simple chat response kind of scenario. You need complex work. These are complex workflows, right? So even if, let us say, OpenAI wants to do it, he will have to build a custom application for this, right? So this is an application layer. Model can become ASI, the super intelligence level. You still will have to build the application. So that is our first approach. Second is for industrial domain. Even if OpenAI wants to do today, he will have to build a foundational model for this separately because it is related to industrial world. The 3D actual world, the data is proprietary. Customer doesn't share it with you. So your application has to run on his premises or on the virtual clouds.
Okay, thank you. Weber, you're next. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Karan and Archana from Rocum Capital for giving me this opportunity. India doesn't need more rappers, we need infrastructure, and that's what we are building at Quansys AI. My name is Vaibhav Shukla. I'm the founder and CEO of Quansys AI. We are building the voice infrastructure for India. And so India is the customer support capital of the world. It is $55 billion industry for us. It's roughly 2% of the India's GDP. And the problem is that this entire model is outdated in the agentic AI era. So that's what we are solving. We ask these questions to ourselves, if we can automate the call centers itself. And the call centers can automate and completely run by themselves. So for that, we started solving this problem, and we started building building from scratch for what exactly is required to automate the entire call center pieces. And that's what we initiated with Quansys AI. So Quansys is the default layer wherein you don't need humans in the loop, which can automate the entire call center and BPO infrastructure. And we can completely run end-to-end for the processes. So these systems can listen, understand, act, respond, and solve the entire purpose for any particular use case. So it's not a concept anymore. We have been working with some of the top enterprises like Paytm, Cred, Propbotics. We are also partnered with OpenAI for the infrastructure. We are working with them on voice and Indic languages infrastructure, which we have developed by our own digital data engine, and we can generate data at scale. So we are different in a way because we have solved the entire layer for be it your application layer, for orchestration layer, then on the model layer and the data layer itself. So for example, anything and everything that is required, so we are basically making the entire suite of the automation the layer for call center. So it's completely, you can say, the call centers are completely running on itself. We have built companies before. We have a really good research team which is helping us in developing the entire foundational layer of it. And we have deployed on some of the use cases wherein we have already worked with some of the large enterprises already. Yeah, and I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has.
Any questions on the product?
Yes, yeah. Right.
From digital. Okay. So the call lands on the somebody's phone. So
Correct.
it's like again a telecalling kind of thing. So
Correct.
can these be used on those kind of scenarios?
Yes, it can be. Can you be more specific on the use case?
Yeah. For example, I got generated a lead on Google Ads
Yeah.
for say a training on digital marketing.
Right.
Or
Right.
SEO training. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that customer is calling to a particular number.
Correct.
This lands on say in this phone.
Yeah.
So can I put this agent into this phone which can attend that call and answer according to my requirements?
Yeah, it can definitely do. So what it will do in the backend, and you can have a handshake of WebSockets when your number and the other number that we have, they can basically merge together, and the conversation can flow from there.
And it can answer the questions because it's a dynamic question. It's not a fixed kind of question. So
Right, right. It can. So all the knowledge base that you're gonna give it. So for example, I'll give you a use case of real estate, right? So if somebody's making an inquiry about the real estate project, you basically fill the form, you get the number there. The AI agent will make the call. It is already trained on the entire data set of your real estate project. Where is it? What is the per square feet size? The cost of it? What are the amenities and all those things? Locality, all those things which is already trained on that. It will talk to you on the basis of all that information. It will record the interest level from you, whether you want to visit the site or not. And then it will all automatically book the site visit as well. And you can trigger SMS, WhatsApp, email, whatever you require. So everything that was previously done by a call center agent is completely automated using AI agents. And it's end-to-end process. So basically the purpose that you've given it, it can completely solve for that.
and can institutes can take this or companies can take this on standalone basis, or you are put in a subscription mode kind of thing?
So it's more like we're charging per minute kind of subscription at this point. So you set it up one time, then whatever the number of minutes that you consume with us, you pay for that.
Thanks.
Okay, any other question? Yeah.
I mean, you talked about building foundational models for the Indic languages, right?
Yeah.
So if you could tell me how you're scaling on the same, because foundational models are very good for demos, but when we scale, we have even seen server breaking.
Right.
So how are you?
There is right. We basically gave a demo with Servam and
Guys.
Well, that was too loud. But then,
Yeah.
how are you thinking of combating that scenarios?
the main thing is basically the data engine, right? So I mean, data that you have basically trained it on, That's the most important piece. So initially, when we tried it with Bhashini and Google datasets, all the public libraries that are available, we basically tried to fine tune and generate, basically train the model on that dataset. But unfortunately, like you mentioned, there are so many problems with that. So that's why we build our own data engine. As you can see, we won an award from Prime Minister Modi as well. It was right here in Bharat Mandapam last year. So we basically generate data from our own data engine, and that is what we are basically putting it in the model. So for use case by use case, for example, Paytm that is working with us at such scale, we are making tens of thousands of calls with Paytm. For those kind of use cases, we basically take it, what exactly is the use case on, right? So for example, merchant is a very complex use case.
In terms of scaling,
Yeah,
if you have deployed your own models, then I mean, data was not the question. It was
right.
more like how are you scaling it to like a national level?
Right, so we are working, I mean, concurrency currently is around 50. Now we are going to increase that as, I mean, as the model grows, we'll increase that concurrency.
Yeah, you had a question.
Oh yeah, like
Asking how cost effective is this compared to having people at BPO, because we know like severely underpaid these guys are.
Right.
And I have met some guys, and the problem they're facing is their products are like per minute the cost they are charging is more than what these companies usually pay for BPOs.
Correct. So there are two kinds of problems, right? So there are smaller companies which are employing 5 guys, 10 guys. So if you talk about that, that's not something where we are currently focusing on, and that's not, the industry can't focus on that. I mean, the pricing will come down drastically in the next couple of years. But there are companies like SBI Insurance. They are employing tens of thousands of people in a particular building, right? So from real estate, from managing the security, the parking spaces, the HR management, team management, all those things, subscription, headsets, machinery, all that, those things. If you take it down to the last minute, so that costs roughly 25 to 30 rupees per minute. For this thing, this particularly maybe cost 3 rupees per minute. So that's more like 90% of the cost saving for those kind of companies. So that's where the current market is, and that's what we are basically focusing on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I request, guys, a round of applause for all the founders. I'd request Pradyum Gupta to now come and present. Be generous with the applause at the questions both, please. Yeah, I mean, founders are taking time out to talk about their product.
Okay, hello. Thank you, ma'am, for providing me this opportunity.
Can I just help him?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Pradyum. I am representing Papli Labs here. So just giving a simple example, what Papli Labs actually do is that, for example, you're today all coming to Bharat Mandapam. Now you must be using, maybe if you are here from Delhi, you might not be using a map, but I am from outside Delhi, so I was using a map from IIT Delhi to Bharat Mandapam. Now what happened was that it said to me that these gates are open, but these gates for all of them were closed. I was just looking around all over the parking areas. And normally this is a common problem in the map system today. What map system have done is that they have brought a great navigation system. So you want to go at a particular place that could be anywhere all over the city, you can go down there. But that navigation will never be so much aware that the kind of awareness that you require. So for example, that there could be a place that the gates are closed, there could be something which is happening, maybe a very heavy fog is there. Now that is not updated. What our company does is that we update the map, any kind of existing mapping system in a very instant way. How we do it, we work on a visual system. So for example, any kind of a vehicles which are having on the ground, they have our cameras placed in. So these are simple dash cams, CCTVs, anything which is visual, we basically place all over the cities. And we work only in the metro cities as on date, or only on the major highways. We take out all the data and we plot it over the map, and then we not only place the videos or the images, we categorize them. So like, for example, right now in Delhi, we work with there's a local transport here DTC, it's a Delhi Transport Company. So we plotted about 8,000 units, and then we were getting like 100 petabytes of data from all these them. And then we would categorize them so fast that you basically see the entire Delhi life. And the best part was that you can search from them, what's going on there. So now, what are the use cases that we brought? Probably 3 use cases in the market. So for example, there's a company called JC Decox. They own about 4,000 billboards all over New Delhi. The problem in all these billboards is these billboards come at a standard price. So for example, you own like 10,000 billboards, but you usually sell it only on a basis of if it's a posh area, then I will charge maybe more. If it's a less posh, I will charge them less. What we brought is a new kind of pricing mechanism that you charge on the basis of impression count, what digital ads brought for them. And that's how we were able to increase their revenue for about 40-45%, because now they were charging more on the revenue basis. We worked with a company called Autonomous Cars. So this MG Motors, they had a Hector vehicle, which when they were entering in India back then, they were bringing that thing in the autonomous set. They were bringing internet edge inside. One of the problems that they had was that they had luxury passengers, but they wanted to know that, okay, what is happening on the road, like instantly. Even if it has a fog, they need to know that, okay, divider is broken or not. Am I safe in there or not? So we started to update. There's a company called MapMy India. We started to update their systems very fast. Third, we worked with a company like BCG. BCG is a consulting firm which basically consults government to take decisions on the ground. What we told them that this is where the demand is there, this is where the capacity is high. That's how we brought a route rationalization algorithm that's helped DTC on the ground to basically manage all their 8,000 buses to where they need to actually deploy more buses so that they can increase the revenue. But the second perspective was that they can more passengers can actually board the bus. So we update the map on the cases that they want. Now we have been penetrating in news. So normal daily newspaper that you usually read on a regular basis, there's a imagery that is attached to it. In that images, there's about 8 to 10,000 people usually just on the ground do a basic job is to collect these images. What we do is, because we have a huge volume of videos that we have, we're just updating them and we're creating a news out of it. So like you want to search anything, any news you want to create, you can create from there. How we do it? So because this is a more of a product business, so one of the problems that we faced in India when we were trying to scale this product is that even everyone is talking about AI, but today if I'm just going to be asking any single passenger just to put a phone in their car and provide us data, none of you will do it. And this was a very basic problem. So we realized that people want it. In India, there's this perception is that they want to absorb the technology really fast. But to give that information is very hard. So we created a mechanism in which the customer started to supply the data by itself. So for example, when we started to deal with passenger bus service, passenger like local DTC, we started to give them passenger counting. Because the problem was that they didn't know how many people come inside the bus on a particular bus stand where we need to run more buses. When we started to deal with packages count, so like logistic companies use digital locks. So today, any truck which goes all over the country, the problem is that they put a digital lock and then they expect that the truck is safe. But that digital lock even gets opened, any kind of a thing is not evidence in a court. What we added is a small camera in the particular container. That thing counted how many goods were getting inside and how many goods were not, like what was the exact tally value. That's how we deployed in a highway sector. So here, if there are 3 sides of the data part, one is the passenger, that means we are getting city data. If we are deploying in the logistics sector, we are getting highways data. And if you are deploying in the normal commercial cabs, we are getting the lane information. And the perspective was just to get the front imagery. The back imagery, they use it for themselves, and we are certainly not interested in that part. That's how we formed this entire information. One of the problems that we faced to one of our customers was, so we reached to Delhi Police, and we started to sell this entire platform. They started to Google that, like basically they want to search everything that where people are not wearing helmets, because they want to cut the challans very instantly. Now, these things was that we created layers, but we didn't have a system that we can create very dynamic layers for that particular person. So what we did was we added, that's where the LLM thing came in, that we started to describe every image, and then internally we were searching everything for them. So like you have anything, any idea in your mind, you want to, for example, a person comes to me, he says to me that, find me all the CCTVs in New Delhi, find me street lights which are not working. Just prompt it out. Internally, we are a video analytics company. Like we're running on a bare metal like 100 petabytes, and then we're just processing them really fast. And you can then, the best part that we brought was that start to compare, like what changed now and what was previously before. Like 6 days back, year back, what was the development going on? And this is how basically the end customer gets. So for example, if it's a local bus passenger company, they want to know that how many passengers actually board. So we provided a system to them, but internally we use a front camera system. So they use a fleet management system, then we brought Papli AI over the top. So this is an example that we brought with DTC. This was funded by JICA. JICA is an investment corporation which funds the government of New Delhi. And that's how we scaled in entire New Delhi. Second thing was that if you want to know any count, like how many cars have been gone through, or how many buses pass through that particular portion, or where the two-wheelers are, or where the ambulances actually cross, we started to take out every information all over New Delhi, and this is all real time. So if you want to do it today, you want to compare it for like last 6 months, and then you want to track and target them. You can do all of it. So we brought this base systems because JCD Cox was the organization who wants it. So we're a team of 6 engineers right now. We're based out of IT Delhi. If you want to.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
Hello. Yeah. So thank you so much for presenting. I am curious about knowing that you mentioned a certain petabyte of data that you're using, and data, is a very debatable topic right now after DPDP. So how are you handling that? How are you DPDP compliant? Because you are going to give this to certain other businesses also. So because you are getting a lot of personal data too, like getting images of people, getting images of the car numbers and all of these things. So how are you DPDP compliant and ensure that?
So there are two things. One is that inside videos, we never take out for the public information, even though the clients are ready to pay even 10 times over that value. Second thing is, like this is the rule of Papli Labs internally. Second thing is only front data is used. Front camera data, faces are blurred, number plates are also blurred. Third thing is that right now we don't run on any AWS, so we don't use hyperscalers right now. We only use bare metal servers. So bare metal means stacks in which we keep everything in Europe right now. So Europe, Hetzner, we have taken a portion of their data centers. And the second thing, so in India, there's a big problem. One of the things that people say that, okay, GPUs are a lot, but the reality is that GPUs are, the companies which are actually selling these GPUs never purchase from them, rather purchase from CDAC. So CDAC is an organization called Eravat. Eravat is providing us supercomputers and like a bare dirt cheap price. So if you're going to be searching on Eravat, just purchase their GPUs and then keep data on bare metal on your security premises, then it's very safe and it's very cheap.
Okay, one more question. And in the end, we'll take more questions because once everyone's done their presentation, please go for it.
I want to ask, first I want to congratulate you on the product. And I just want to ask, like, what are the incentives you are giving to the dash cam holders? Like, I heard you are giving incentives to the local DTDC buses or like.
So we don't pay incentive, they pay us.
So like, what is the leverage you are holding for them to,
For example, so this company, DTC, Delhi Transport Corporation, they burn about 80 crores every year on not providing the timely bus service. And they had a very low revenue. Like they burn about, like they had a revenue loss about 800 crores as I had a talk with I. Sachin Shinde, back then he was there. Now I. Jitendra ji came in. Now when we came into the system, we actually reduced on the revenue loss for them. So for example, if you see this number, 27 is the demand which is there and 25 is the capacity. So in India, what happened was that when Aam Aadmi Party came in, they provided female passengers as a free bus service. now every party started to criticize all these parties that you are providing free for the bus service to the females. We were the first company which actually gave them a mandate that 1% is the actual female passengers are operating. So that's how they were able to save their lives. So that's when, when we came in, we solved their lot of operational issues.
We can access it through our apps or like
Nothing is possible, sir. We are a pure B2B company. We never enter into B2C.
Okay, we'll do questions at the end. Let's finish the presentations and okay, quickly, but short answer on your part. Yeah, but short answer, please.
So, sir, we sell on tile basis. So, for example, this particular area, this comes at 25 by 25 square kilometer. This starts at 1.5 lakh rupees per tile. This is for only valid for 1 day. And this usually multiplies at a volume at the company comes in.
Thank you so much. So now I'll request Meenal to come and present, please.
Hello everyone, I am Meenal Gupta from Easofy Solutions, and so nice to see you over here. Who all are founders over here? Oh wow, so many. So we
Founders Adda hai.
founders
तो
Adda.
founders
So I
होने
just
चाहिए.
want to check who all are founders over here. So I love to be with founders. I know they share the journey and the struggle. They know it very well. So we all three women. Mostly known as Treen Devia because this name was given to us by Mr. Narendra Modi. So Meenal Gupta, I am the founder, Noor Fatma and Sheetal Takas. We all started this journey. Our platform, we have named it as Imagix AI. It's a AI-driven precision imaging to treatment planning for cancer. So we are HIPAA compliant. We have 4 patents in hand. We are ISO 13485 certified company. We also have CEDESCO license. Talking about CEDESCO, people who are from medical field, they might be knowing that there is a license which is required when we want to take our solution to hospitals. So there is a ICMR agency that certifies your product, that is software as a medical device. Once it is certified, then you can take it to any hospital. You can actually commercialize post that. So we are CEDESCO certified. So talking about the problem, we know there are around 20 million new cancer cases every year. And there is not like that doctors don't have the intent of solving the problem or taking cancer, treating cancer. But the main problem is the shortage of clinical experts. We can increase the devices, like diagnosis devices can be increased, imaging can be increased, but the problem that is facing is the shortage of expertise for oncology. So, and finally the treatment planning. So talking about that problem, once a cancer is being detected, the patient is sent for CT scan. Once the CT scan MRI, once it is being done, then tumor board decides whether the patient has to go for radiation therapy or they have to go for surgery or the combination of both. I can understand everyone can relate it because almost every family in India or world are having someone very near and dear who are facing through cancer and they have gone through just such challenges. So what happens is because of this shortage, it costs lives. It costs lives or the stage of the cancer changes. Either it changes from first level to second stage. It changes because of this unavailability. So this is where our solution comes in. So this was our own personal experience where all three founders have personally experienced cancer through to our near ones, and we have gone through this radiation therapy where we had to wait in queue because of unavailability of specialists because of unavailability of treatment planning. So this was a very big bottleneck. You can see over here, once a patient is recommended to go for radiation therapy, there is a planning to do for that radiation therapy. For this planning, there is a manual process where wherever there is a tumor, all the surrounding organs of tumor, they are to be segmented, and this is a manual process. I can proudly say there. I can proudly say that in India there is no one who is solving this problem, and we are the only one who have this solution. Here we contour all the contouring is the masking. We mask all the organs which are on risk and are surrounding tumor. So here the main purpose is that all the organs that are surrounding tumor, they should be saved because they are healthy organs, and radiation therapy should be as less as possible on on those healthy organs. So talking about the manual process, it used to take somewhere around 60 to 90 minutes. We have reduced it to at the max of 15 minutes. The reason is for complex radiation therapy, when it is head and neck cancer, it takes lots of time. So maximum 15 minutes and minimum 5 minutes. So we have reduced it. Here, what we do is, once the patient is diagnosed with cancer, he goes for CT scan. Tumor board CT scan is been done. It is uploaded on our cloud. Tumor board have the access of this CT scan through our own DICOM viewer. DICOM is the format through which this images can be seen. They decide whether they have to go for CT scan, radiation therapy planning or surgery. And we have various suits. We do AI analysis, where we do first level of analysis, where we mention the load of the tumor. And second level of analysis is we have various suits. We have X-ray suit, neuro suit, and onco suit, which works on this scans, and finally we give the final report. So this is our product. We have trained our AI on about 5 million of data set, in which around 30% is Indian data set, and this 30% we gathered it from Northeast region. So Northeast region is very tough terrain, and we got support from Niti Aayog, where we went and collected data. It is very tough terrain. मतलब taking off AI over there is very challenging because वहाँ पर तो 4G भी नहीं पहुँचा है अभी तक. So we had to implement it on-premise solution so that we can get the data and we can help them solve that. So 30% of data we have almost deployed it in 14 states in India. We got our data 30% from that. Accuracy is around 92 to 99% depending upon the complexity. You can see this data. We are working in Gujarat in 7 districts where we are helping to scan, to do CXR chest lung analysis, where we have helped, made somewhere around 1 million of scans. We have detected around 4,000 TB positive cases till yet, in which there were around 6 lung cancer cases where early intervention is still possible. We have done around 1,000 of radiotherapy plans till yet, and talking about in last 3 months, we had done around 50,000 of chest X-rays, where 2,700 of TB were flagged. So we could save TB. These are live photos where handle X-rays and all are being done. So our solution was recognized first by Mr. Narendra Modi, and day before yesterday we were invited in Microsoft by Bill Gates to show our solution to him. So we personally showed our solution to him, and yeah, we are taking it forward with him.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Any questions?
Like in health tech, I've observed that trust is a very big factor in terms of AI adoption, and you seem to be implementing it across India. So how do you make sure that the technology and the science behind is trusted by the people who are being benefited by it?
Yeah, I understand. So here our solution, we are not replacing doctors. We are just assisting doctors. We have made their manual process easy process. But final approval has to be done by radiologists, so it is human in the loop. We are not claiming that directly our AI will solve the problem.
Thank you. I'll request Vivek now to come.
Hi everyone. So first of all, thank you so much Team Rukam Capital for organizing such a vibrant event, and the energy is full of high in this room, I can see.
It can be higher though.
Yeah.
I think थोड़ी सी और energy चाहिए इस कमरे में.
Yes. So my name is Vivek Gupta. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called IndusLabs AI. So we are building the voice architecture of India. So we are basically building the whole layer of operating system of voice, where all the layers like speech to text, text to speech, the LLM, speech to speech, all of this infrastructure we are building, right? So it is a common platform where anyone, I said anyone can come on this platform and build their own voice agent. As Sir was asking the question about whether you are running a campaign on Google, you have put a number, you can build your own agent by yourself, right? So it's a DIY platform where we are training, we are primarily focusing on Indian languages, because the problem in linguistic problem in our country is, if you will see, after each 20-kilometer dialect changes, right? So we are working with couple of banks, NBFCs, right? And whenever they run a campaign, they run a basically cold calling in, let's say, Muzaffarnagar region in UP, right? And whenever they call in Gorakhpur region, the Hindi is totally different. But global players like IndusLabs, or maybe some different global players like Azure and Google, they are providing a generic Hindi. But we need a company in India who can build the infrastructure of voice in our country based on our dialects. And again, so while we are building the infrastructure on our own GPUs and servers, the hyperscalers we have inbuilt in our system, so that's how we are able to reduce the latency. So we have some sub 400, 500 millisecond around latency into the system, which is like more human conversation, you can feel it, and the complete analysis of the call is there, right? So as soon as the call gets disconnected, you will find the sentiment analysis of the call, the outcome of the call, and it will log into the system. So what is the expected outcome of the call? It will go into your CRM. So the journey starts from your CRM and ends with CRM. You trigger the calls from CRM and it ends with the CRM. So again, as I said, like native dialect mastery we have, and we are ultra low latency. And again, cost, somebody was also asking question regarding how effective it is in terms of cost. So if I talk about existing system cost, we are reducing the cost up to 70%, right? So up to 70% cost can be reduced, and operationally you are enabled, like 24/7 availability of the system is there. System is multilingual, right? You don't need to have multiple people for different languages. Single system can handle 24/7, and that's how you are able to reduce cost and operationally efficient. And the important part is emotional handling, right? So like 1 year back, I started this company 2.5 years back, right? I used to be director of an engineering company in software company in Bangalore, and 2.5 years back I quit and started IndusLabs, and my background is from IIT Delhi, right? So the core problem was emotions, right? When I started this company, I always thought, like, if somebody is laughing over the call, how would AI system would recognize the person is happy or angry? That's how the agent would say sorry or congratulate, because you need to understand the emotions, right? So we were working on this speech to text model since last 1.5 years. And on the 16th of this month in the Bharat Mandapam only, we launched this model called, it's basically, emotion aware STT. So we launched this model here in Bharat Mandapam only. And we are basically, distributing it to our customers, existing customers now, so that they can start using it. It's POC phase right now. And the good part is, since we are an Indian company, all the data is going to reside here on our sovereign field is there, right? So we are pure Indian origin company. So as I said, like if I compare with global players like Google and IndusLabs, so we are cost. So like let's say I hope many people knows what IndusLabs is, right? So their cost is somewhere around 8 rupees per minute, right? But we are 70% lower. We sell at 2 rupees per minute. right? And we are superior in terms of Indian dialect accuracy. And streaming latency is somewhere around 300 to 400 millisecond. And emotional expressiveness is already there in our system as we recently launched it. And Indian data residency clause is obviously there because we are an Indian company. So, so we are a use case agnostic platform. We don't say like we are having mastery in this use case. You can come on our platform. So like as of today, we are working with multiple use cases, right? We are working with banks. We are working with enterprises in FMCG. We are working with customer support people. They are building their own voice agents, but they use our STT and TTS through API, right? So not anyone can build STT and TTS. So instead of using 11 Labs, they use us because we are cost effective and obviously good in terms of Indian dialect mastery. So it's DIY platform. Anyone can come and build their own agent. We have different flows. Workflow is already there. You can create nodes. Each node can be connected with webhooks or API, and that can be connected to your CRM. So it's completely guided journey, and you can create, and you can also integrate your voice agent with telephony. So we have already partnership with Airtel and Jio. So that's how you can give the SIP channels through there and connect with your voice agent. So it's complete end-to-end journey. And again, so the core market is B2B enterprises, right? And we are also platform for developers. So developers can use our APIs into their existing systems wherever they want to use, right? So usage-based API, and it is again per second based costing is there. So as how many seconds you will use, you will be the credits would be deducted. So it's a recharge-based system. You recharge and you can use it. And also we are building channel partners as well. So like we have a couple of partners. One is in Dubai, one is in Germany. So we are white labeling our platform for them, right? So they can onboard their clients on their platform. Internally, they would become our client, shared client, and we can share the revenue. So we have right now we have developed 4 to 5 partners globally. So we are building from Bharat for the globe. So we have foreign languages as well. We have Arabic, we have German, we have French, and Mandarin. Mandarin is in building stage right now. So we have core and English, all the accents we have, Australian accent, British accent, American accents, all the male, female voices. And again, you can clone your voice as well on our platform. Yeah, this is it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any questions? Quick questions. Any questions? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a no-code platform. It's a journey-based platform. You need to trigger what you want to do, what you want to basically build out of it. So let's say you want to build an agent for inbound agent for your leads, right? So anybody who is calling from Google Ads would land on this voice agent. So you will define the journey and how you want to integrate. Let's say you want to, some meeting has been fixed for your product, right? So it is connected with Google Calendar, your Google Calendar. So as soon as AI agent books a meeting, you will get an email on your Google Calendar. This meeting has been fixed and your Google Calendar will be blocked.
So my question is like, I have to make these like, there are some nodes, I have to connect these and make a flow, or you have all things are made up, you just have to click and the agent will start working.
Yeah, it's like DIY platform. And we have tutorials as well, right? If you are stuck, you can see the tutorials. So, and still you are feeling you are not able to build it, you can support the customer center.
Okay.
So our team will help you in that case.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, quick question. Yeah.
Size of the data set you have trained your model at, number one, and number two, connected. Can you just share your story a little bit? You started your business story, but how did you start? When you left your job?
We don't have so much time. You can talk to him offline, but the data set question, I think,
I'll make it short, right?
Yeah.
So journey started 2.5 years back, right? So I initially started building voice agent and started using TTS of somebody else, right? Then we figured out that this TTS is having this issue. How can I solve this? Because my customer will ask the issues, complain to me, right? So we were not able to solve these problem of pronunciation of some words, right? Because these issues were there already in the third-party system, right? So we thought of initially building our own infrastructure, and we pivoted in a model that people will use our APIs. That's what we want to build it, right? So then, firstly, we used public data, publicly available data. Then we started creating our own data, right? So we create the data, and we have multiple hyperscalers available. And scalability-wise, our system is so much scalable that you can, put 1,000 requests at a time. It will handle. So it will scale 0 to 1,000 within 10 minutes. So that's
All
how
right.
we are built.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much for all the engaging questions that everybody did make the effort to ask. We are time constrained over here, so I want to thank all the founders for sharing your product. And any questions you have for the founders, please do connect with them and do continue the conversation. It's just that we need to leave the room. So, and I'll request all of us to do a quick picture together.